Hey guys, it's part 4 of my Smash Brothers original character challenge. Let's jump right in. Okay, so for Kid Icarus, I have this really good idea. So we have Pit, and we have Dark Pit, he's called Dark Pit, but he's kind of morally ambiguous. What if there was a third Pit? So my original character for Kid Icarus is called Gray Pit, and he's very neutral. I think if he was playable in Smash, he would adapt Pit's old moveset from Brawl. So his arrows would basically be the same, or, you know, have slightly different attributes, but he would get the Mirror Shield and the Wings of Pegasus, that Pit used as his up B and his down B in Brawl, along with his side B, whatever that move was called, where he spins his bow. And yeah, that's my idea for an original character from the Kid Icarus universe, Gray Pit. Okay, so for WarioWare, this one was kind of hard because there's not really a lot of patterns between the characters in WarioWare. However, I did have this idea because Wario is depicted as a biker in these games. What if there was like a rival bike gang? Not even like a gang, just an individual biker thug. And I noticed that there's a lot of characters in WarioWare, even though it's very, in my eyes, very American cartoon-like. There's a lot of characters like Cotton Nana and Master Mantis and Young Cricket who are very Japanese-inspired. So I designed a character who was in the same art style with the bold black lines and the really saturated colors, but I also made him influenced by Japanese bike gangs. Played around with the colors a little bit. The color schemes of WarioWare characters is very specific, super saturated, doesn't look like it should work initially, but they always do, and they usually never have more than up to 3 colors, usually 2, not including their skin tone, and so I think this guy worked out pretty well. This is my original character from the WarioWare universe, Scrambler. Okay, Metal Gear Solid. This was probably the series I was looking least forward to doing. It's just an art style that I'm not very good with, and I didn't really have a lot of good ideas because the story and lore of Metal Gear is just very all over the place. But I decided to take one of my favorite elements from Metal Gear Solid. I think it's Metal Gear Solid 4. There's a unit called the Beauty and the Beast Corps, and it comprises of 4 female soldiers who are put into robots that are named Crying Wolf, Raging Raven, Laughing Octopus, and Screaming Mantis. And I thought to myself, the naming conventions of those and the design, it's an emotional response and an animal. So what emotion has not been used out of those 4? I thought calmness. And what type of animal? You know, we have a mammal, a bird, a mollusk, and an insect, so I went with a reptile. Originally, I thought maybe doing a snake would be kind of unique, but I was like, I can't do a snake. The main character's name is Snake. So I went with my favorite reptile, which is the tortoise, and I went with a calm-natured tortoise, and I decided to give it the codename Tranquil Tortoise. Of course, like the other members of the Beauty and the Beast Corps, the mech has to reflect this name, so I thought like a heavy armored kind of mech with a big shell on the back. I also gave it some signature glowing red eyes like the other members, and because I wanted it to be tranquil, I gave it 3 eyes, like 1 eye on the forehead to kind of do that kind of like meditative, I believe it's a Hindu symbolism. I actually don't know off the top of my head during this recording. I should have wrote it down. But anyways, I gave it 3 eyes to represent tranquility, and then I gave it these floating shields, kind of like Captain America-like shields, because I think this character would still need, even though they're a tortoise and very defensive and heavy armored, they would still need an offensive way to fight. So I think maybe throwing shields like Captain America would be really awesome. I tried to replicate the art style in a lot of the promotional art for Metal Gear Solid games. Obviously, my art style is not exactly there, but I did my best to incorporate the really heavy shading and the lack of saturation of the colors. And I think this character passes pretty well for a Metal Gear Solid character. And so that is my original character from that universe, Tranquil Tortoise. Okay, so we're here, Sonic the Hedgehog. The idea I had for this character is, during Project Shadow, when they were trying to create the ultimate life form, one of the prototypes escaped from the test tube, or test chamber, kind of like Mewtwo from Pokemon the first movie, became a vigilante, got a cool jacket, taught himself the ways of the samurai, and just became this super badass hedgehog, ultimate life form creature. And I think when he was escaping Gerald Robotnik's lair, he had some prototypes for some enemies that Sonic would face off against, 50 years later when Sonic was around. This is pre-Shadow, obviously. This is during the Shadow project. And I thought that maybe he would befriend like a prototype Moto Bug, because, you know, my Mario original character had a little buddy named Taro, and so I think this guy would have like a Motobug buddy named Buddy. He named it himself, obviously. And so yeah, I just thought this would be like a super cool character that all the Sonic fans would probably really attach to and really like. This is my Sonic original character, Do Not Steal, Silhouette the Ultimate. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm still gonna do every single series that is represented in Smash Bros. Ultimate, so please subscribe if you want to see more of that. Let me know which one of these guys was your favorite in this episode. This was a particularly fun one to kind of come up with, because this specific group of 4 characters, I did not really have a very good idea of where I was going with them, but I'm really happy with all of them. And yeah, with that, I hope you guys liked it, and see you guys next time. Bye!